Color correction is a filter that changes the colors on the entire screen with exception of the HUD. It's usually used to fine-tune the lighting or a stylistic choice. They can be made with the in-game color correction tools or with third-party software like Photoshop. The in-game UI is clunky and tiny on 4K resolutions, and getting a good software that does it all is also hard, cause not many supports the RAW format. I'll show you how to make them with Gimp and FFMPEG. Gimp is used to edit the color chart itself, and FFMPEG converts the color chart to the correct file format. Let's get started with installing the required tools. First go and download Gimp 3.0 or newer, because 3.0 finally has non-destructive adjustment layers. Pause this video until Gimp is installed and running. Downloading FFmpeg is a cakewalk. Press the Windows key and R together, then enter CMD in the Run box. The CMD prompt will open, in which you enter winget install FFmpeg. After about a minute, it'll tell you that paths had been set and that you can now close the window. If that doesn't work, you can always download the pre-built version from gyan.dev, which can be found on the FFmpeg website, and install that manually. Now the only thing left is my prefab. In the video description is a GitHub link which contains two things: colorchart.tga and convertcc.bat. Download both files into a folder of your choice. Load a map and enter the command mat ColorCorrection disable entities 1. Most games accept this command as is, but Left 4 Dead 2 being strange again requires it to be wrapped in this code. This string can be found in the video description, so you can copy and paste it into the console. With the color correction system temporarily disabled, move into a spot where you want to change the color correction. Take 1 or 2 screenshots and then close the game. Open Gimp and then drag the screenshot as well as the color chart onto Gimp. Create a group with the color chart on top and the screenshot below. Click on the group in the layer stack so that everything in the group is affected by your changes. Go to Colors and pick one of the adjustment options, like temperature or curves. Play around until you're happy with the outcome. If you want to change the values at any point, click on the little FX logo on the group layer and then double-click on a specific effect. Before we can export the color correction, we must apply the changes to the color chart. Right-click the entire group and pick Duplicate Layers. Hide the screenshot layer and the other group, so that all that you can see is the color chart. Right-click the duped group and pick Merge Visible Layers. All the color edits you had made are now saved onto the color chart. Right-click that now modified color chart layer and pick Alpha to Selection. Then go to Edit, Copy, followed by Edit, Paste as New Image, or Ctrl-C and Shift-Ctrl-V. The color chart is now a whole separate image which you can export as a TGA. Drag the exported TGA onto the converter and you will get a new RAW file. Now you have a finished color correction. So, editing done, but how to use them? Either you can use them in your own map, or you can replace existing color corrections of the game. To use them in your own map, place a color correction entity in Hammer. In the lookup table filename string, which on my Hammer is renamed, you must point to the full path and file ending of your color correction. Set the master flag for whatever color correction should always be active. The fall-off start and end value are similar to a prop's fade start and end value. The fall-off start is the inner radius around the color correction entity where the color modulation begins to disappear. Fall-off end is where the color correction is no longer visible. These should only be set if a color correction is neither a master nor tied to a fog volume. This was a different voiceover, could you tell? You can also create a fog volume brush entity using the trigger texture and assign a color correction entity to that. When you walk into this volume, the color correction on the screen will change to whatever you had picked. For Left 4 Dead 2, you must have at least one fog volume with assigned color correction. Without doing that, the color correction system is disabled entirely. But what about replacing existing color corrections? You will need to find out what color correction is used on a map. For that, you can decompile the map using BSP source. Download link to BSP source is in the video description as well. Open BSP source, drag a BSP onto it, click the decompile button and then wait a moment. Load the decompiled map in Hammer and then head over to Map Entity Report. Filter by class and enter color in this text box. You will find a list of all color correction entities this map has. Select one and click on Properties. The one with the master flag is the default color correction you will usually see at all times. Write down the color correction file name for now. If you had more than one color correction entity, look for the fog volume entity instead. If the fog volume has a color correction string set, select that string and then click the Mark button. That will select this active color correction, allowing you to find out what file name it has. Now that you know the name of the color correction and where the map uses them, you can rename your own custom color correction file, pack them up into an add-on and ship them. Also, it is possible for multiple maps to use one and the same color correction, so your edit could have unforeseen consequences. And that's how to make and use color corrections. You know the rules. Like the video if you learned something and subscribe if you want to learn more. Leave a comment about whatever guide you want me to do next. There is a link in the description where you can support me further if you would like to. In case you need more help, join the Dead for Mods Discord server. There is a mapping and modding channel in which you can ask questions. I also have a private Discord server, but you're less likely to get help there. You can still hop in and, as is usual, hop right back out again. But now the video has been long enough as it is. See you guys next time. Bye.